Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 11 of our Colorado Rockies rebuild here on Out of the Park Baseball 26. Where last we left off, it was the middle of June, and times were great. We were battling the Dodgers for the divisional lead. We had one of, if not the best pitching staff in all of baseball. You join us now in the middle of July. We are 47 and 41, a mere 6 games above 500. Our bullpen has had some implosions, and our hitters have forgotten what it means to hit the baseball. We have dropped to 14th in almost every single offensive statistic, with exception of home runs, where we are a blazing 12. So suffice to say, we have some problems to fix. I have already made not one, not two, but three trades to try to shake things up a little bit. And we have the MLB draft, which we will take care of first in order to get the ball rolling a little bit. But before we get to any of that, let's talk pitching implosions. Unfortunately for Mr. Chivilli, against the Marlins a few days ago, he gave up 8 runs in one inning, a truly magnificent feat, which ballooned his ERA all the way from a 2.8 to a 4.7. Nearly half of all of his earned runs this season were in that inning. So very unfortunate for him. Mr. Zerpa, similarly, against the Marlins, only got 2 outs, but gave up 3 hits and 2 home runs. Not the best showing from him either. Anthony Molina similarly just gave up 4 runs against the Athletics in this loss. He also was very shaky in the month of June. So our bullpen has regressed, which is something I talked about last episode, being how our bullpen is so much younger than it was last year. You're going to have some ebbs and flows along the way. You may also notice a change in our pitching staff. Sean Burke, starter no more. I have moved him to the bullpen. This is primarily for 2 reasons. One, I think of my starters, we needed to move one of them. Just it wasn't working. Sean Burke's the one I chose. His control is only a 40. His movement isn't great. I think his stuff will play a lot better as a reliever. And so I've moved him to that long relief role. It's not, set in stone. If, we get a starter gets injured or if someone flames out, Burke may go back to the starting rotation. But for now, he is a long reliever. To make room for him, Scott Randall has been traded, which I think at face value seems a little odd. Randall was doing pretty well. He had just given up 5 earned runs in 3 innings, and so his ERA ballooned a bit. But 1.1 whip, strikeouts were a little bit up, 7.5 per nine. However, walks about 2.6 walks per nine. Not that I think Scott Randall's a bad pitcher. I think he's a very good pitcher. But in my sort of grand design, he would also be someone that we could get a decent prospect haul for. To that end, we have traded him to the Guardians along with prospect Connor Eaton, who was in single A for us. Just your classic great stuff, terrible control. I'm trying to move these guys out of our organization, and this provided an opportunity to do so. So I've traded him to the Guardians for 2 players. First is first base prospect CJ Kafus, who I would classify as your average, bat first. infielding prospect. He can play outfield as well, so there is some versatility there. He has very little home run power, I would say. He hit 18 homers last year, but this year, for whatever reason, the AI kept bouncing him around. So he only has five total home runs this season. We'll need to see if that eye can play. He was kind of a strikeout magnet earlier this year, but good organizational depth, if nothing else. However, the centerpiece of this deal is outfielder Joe Lamp, who, let's get the obvious out of the way. If he ever hits a home run in the majors, I will be stunned. His power right now is a 25. What I like about him is literally everything else. He could potentially have an 80 avoid K, 65 contact. He would be one of the quickest players on our team with 75 speed and 80 base running ability. He does not strike out in the minors. And he currently has an OPS of 2,750 after playing one game for us. But with the Guardians in AAA this year, slugging of over 400, OPS is 750. He has done very well for himself in the minors. I anticipate him being a call up sometime the rest of the season, whether that's in September when the rosters expand or potentially sooner. But really happy to get him in our organization. You may also notice in the revitalized pitching staff, we have a man by the name of Bowden Francis. And that is because Owen Miller has been traded to the Toronto Blue Jays. To be blunt, it wasn't working. It had never really worked. He got about 50 or so starts with us, over 200 plate appearances, and he's only ever hit two home runs, struck out 50 times. Negative WAR player. Wasn't a lot of value with him on the team. Obviously, he is a captain, so that did upset the locker room a little bit. But at this point, when you're slumping this much, we had to do something about it. And so we traded him to the Toronto Blue Jays for Bowden Francis, who is a 30-year-old righty that I would classify as the worst starter on a good rotation. And that's what we think we have. Bowden has really nice control, good movement. The stuff, I mean, it's not going to blow you away. 50 is a 55 there. Something he's done really well this season is limit the home runs, which is not something that our other pitchers have done. About 8 Ks per 9. BABIP is a little high, 341, so we'll see how that plays. I am treating this as a 3-month rental, where if Bowden can pitch really well, he might have a spot in the rotation next year. But if he doesn't, no harm, no foul. We just won't pay him arbitration and have him move on. But I'm excited to see what he can do. Also, interestingly enough, he has done better against lefties than he has righties in terms of ERA and Ks. So that could be interesting given our struggles against lefties pretty much across the board. That was, I would consider, the nonchalant sort of trade. I have made one prospect trade, and that is trading Bradley Blaylock after essentially determining he has no path to a spot in our roster. He's the fourth worst starter in AAA. I moved him to the bullpen for a bit, and he did okay. He gave up 4 runs, and that's not great. There's no real path for him. So I looked to trade him after he'd become upset that he wasn't in the majors. I also traded 19-year-old Jeremy Siriaco, who is just, let's be frank, bad infielding prospect. So those two have been traded in exchange for Noe Navarro, who is 17 years old. So he is far away from contributing for us. But he's done very well in rookie ball so far this season. K's are a little bit concerned, but he has a few home runs, 455 slugging, 878 OPS. Defense definitely needs some work, but again, he's 17, so he could potentially grade out as an above average outfielder in our organization. I think that's worth giving those guys up. In other organizational moves, I have sent Alex Call down to AAA. I am just tired with him. He still, against righties, wasn't horrendous. 328 on base percentage, 700 OPS, but his BNMH for the last 10 games was just horrendous. He had a very bad June when I gave him the most at bats he's ever had, and just at a certain point, I could no longer stand to put him in the lineup. So he's been sent to AAA. I highly doubt he sees play in the majors the rest of the season. So he'll just fill out there and then could potentially be let go after this season. So those are my kind of moves behind the scenes to call players up, send guys down. Jordan Beck has been called back up. After I sent Alex Call down, I think it's just time. Either him or Zach Veen needs to essentially get reps day in and day out. They need to be in every starting lineup. What Jordan Beck has going for him is very simple. He does very well against righties and is the worst hitter on earth against lefties. So Beck's going to hit against righties more often than not. We're going to try to use his speed a little bit more to see if he has a path on this roster. Similarly, Romeo Sanabria, who we acquired in a trade last season from the Padres, has been called up to be our new backup first baseman now that Owen Miller is gone. He did very well in AAA this year, 11 homers, 36 walks, did strike out 63 times, but hard to argue with a 925 OPS and a slugging of 533. So, defensively, let's be frank, he is poor. A negative zone rating at first base is genuinely impressive, but he's here for his bat. Pretty much settles that. So, this is my new look lineup at the moment. Brendan Doyle leading off, Estrada behind him. I have Hunter Goodman hitting third. I think if we're serious about Hunter Goodman being the catcher of the future, he needs to start hitting higher in the lineup and doing better. He's had a down year this year. Home runs, I think, are going to tick up, but everything else is worse. He might have 150 strikeouts this season. That's just something I'm going to have to live with. Bregman's hitting fourth, Toglia fifth, Jordan Beck in sixth. Hao-Yu Lee is my DH against righties going forward. He has kind of turned a corner against the Athletics here. 4 hits, 2 runs in a game. Very nice. He is still unhappy because he wants to be a starter. He has been my starting DH for a little bit. Yanquiel Fernandez has cooled right off since his red-hot start earlier in June, but overall still a dependable right fielder. And then Ezekiel Tovar, who you want to talk about cooling off. He has gone ice cold. June wasn't great. July so far, in 20 at-bats, he has 2 hits. So that's our lineup, kind of where things stand here. Overall, we have a lot to work on, but hopefully getting Sanabria in the lineup a little bit, figuring out more outfield clarity will be very good. So that's a little bit of housekeeping for 15 minutes. Let us now turn our full and undivided attention to the MLB draft this season. Now, I must be honest, compared to last year's class, this class is a bit shaky. There are 3 players with 80 potential. None of them, to a man, are likely to sign. They all want upwards of 11, 12, $13 million. Quite expensive. Interestingly, in the mock draft, they have us mocked to Alex Harrington, the high school phenom who, again, wants $11 million. We're not going to pay that. I have loftier plans. In terms of the draft order, so I always struggle navigating my way through these many windows. We do not have a third round pick. We gave that up to sign Alex Bregman. We also do not have any comp picks, whereas last year we did. So we are picking first. We're picking first round, second round, fourth round, and then it's just straight on from there. And there are really only two players that I am interested in picking with my second overall pick. The first is Parker Lowe, who is currently mocked to the White Sox picking first overall. Parker, I think, is a very, very good infielder, but he's not really going to blow you away. What I liked about him is in about, let's call it 80 games started in high school, he only has 34 strikeouts, about 40 steals, nearly half of which were caught, which I've never really seen that ratio before. But he is about 1,400 OPS, very good WAR player. It does not have defensive statistics for high school players, so I got nothing about him defensively. But it looks like he could grade out to be probably an above average second or third baseman, but a not so great shortstop. If he is the player we end up drafting, I am going to move him to, I think, third base full time in the organization, since that is the infield position where we need all the help we can get in the minors. So, Parker Lowe, if the White Sox don't take him, I think would be a very intriguing player. The other player that I am interested in is CJ Sampson, who is a starter again from high school. He is probably the most intriguing player I looked through. He is a two-way player. However, he was not a two-way player in high school. So I doubt that path is really for him. But in terms of potential, I mean, he could potentially have, 60 contact, 40 power, while having a pretty good arm behind it. That's very intriguing. In high school, his whip was never above 1. He struck out 11 Ks per 9. BABIP was a little on the high side for an ace high school kid, but that's essentially splitting hairs. I really like Sampson. The one thing that worries me is if his, let's say, stuff doesn't grade out as well, we might be in trouble because his fastball potential is only a 45, sliders a 50, could become a kind of breaking ball heavy guy. But those are my two prospects that I am most interested in, Parker Lowe and CJ Sampson. Those are my two. And the White Sox might make this very simple by just taking one of them first overall, and then I get whoever is second. The other player I'm interested in, though he is not a first-round pick, is Campbell Smithwick. Now, let's get the obvious out of the way. He has 25 potential worse than the other two top catchers, including Brady Moretia, who I like a lot. There is no shot Brady Moretia is available for our second round pick. If he is, I will be actually stunned, and some GM should be accused of malpractice. But Campbell Smithwick is very solid. He grades out above average offensively, one of the best defensive catchers in his class. He did strike out 90 times in 70 games, so his avoid K is probably a little bit worse than 55. But he could project as a pretty good catcher for us. Again, if Brady Moretia is gone. If Moretia is available, he's the pick in the second round, let's be frank. But that's kind of where we stand. So let us get to the draft. Also, I said the White Sox had the number overall pick when it's definitely the Athletics. Who did the Athletics take? They took Jeremy Poychuk, who had 11 million slot. I was kind of hoping the Athletics would make my decision for me. It's a bit of a shame. So now we have to decide, do we want a guy like Parker Lowe or do we want CJ Sampson? I am leaning towards CJ Sampson. I think the idea that he could potentially become a two-way player is very interesting. I think the stuff is a little worrisome, mainly the fastball and slider, but other than that, I think it's pretty good. His velocity potential of an 89 to 91 mile an hour tells me this fastball is never going to be good, but nothing wrong with a little bit of off speed. So I think CJ Sampson is going to be our pick. I'm just going to meet his demand. He will cost less than slot, which is really good. Because the slot for this spot, I believe, was about 8.3. I think he wanted a touch less. So that should be good. Now let's see where Parker Lowe goes. This is where, if I could trade draft picks, I would trade back up to get Parker. Wow. 5 shortstops have gone before Parker. 6 have gone before him. Oh, there's Parker. He goes to the Red Sox. Pick 20. Good for them. So far, Brady Moretia is still on the board. Yep, he survives. Now on to the comp picks. This guy's just going to nag me back every time. There we go. He's still there. Don't tempt me, game. Wow. Okay. I mean, easiest decision of my life. Brady Moretia, he is not going to cost that much whatsoever in terms of bonus money. Defensively, really solid catcher. Not a power catcher by any means. I think that's kind of okay. I think, I mean, yes, like, easy decision, in my humble opinion. How far down is he on the... Wow, okay. Maybe it's not so insane, considering he's so far down the draft pipeline. Wow. How does he compare with Jason? No, 45, but no, 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 no. Yeah, I think Brady's the pick. I think Campbell Smithwick is still going to develop into a good catcher, but I mean that's the pick. So yeah, Brady Meridia, come on down. We're just going to meet his demand. I think it was 2.6 million, which it's going to be a little higher than slot by about 600,000, but we saved money on our first overall pick, so that's fine. All right, let's just sim away. So now we're in the 4th round. We have yet to take an infielder. So that is priority number 1, I think. All of the really high potential guys are gone. Who is not gone, though, is Spencer Browning, who is on my list for the later rounds, but I might just take him now since we didn't take Parker Lowe. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at his numbers really quick. He's got pretty decent speed. He also got, maybe high schoolers just get caught a lot, and that's why the numbers are so high. But he's got okay power. It's probably not going to be a 55 with only 7 home runs a season in high school. Defensively, I mean, he already has 70 error range, 60 arm, so I can put him at third and be fine. Shortstop with a 45 turn double play might get shaky, but I think Spencer Browning is the pick. Let me find him on this long list just so I can cry when he's like all the way down. Wow. There's our boy, Spencer Browning, 155th on the list. So let's go ahead and sign him. Auto draft for the next pick. And at this point, we're just doing best player available. Impossible to sign you. Because he's committed to Western Michigan. Fair enough. All right. So at this point, we're probably going to go for starters and or really good outfielders. There seem to be a decent amount of high potential starters available. Ty Brachbill. How did he do in the draft league? Ooh, he did very good in the draft league. Whip of .86, 9 Ks per 9. He did pretty good in the draft league, to be fair. He grades out to have really good control. I like him. Do I like him more than Brock Eady? Brock Eady's potential is going to be like a 40. I'm good. Similar problem with Wes Mendez. Jacob McGovern, who is a college kid. And no, I think it's between McGovern and Brachbill. Let me compare them really quick. So in terms of potential, I mean, they grade out to be very similar pitchers. McGovern's going to be better against home runs, but Brockville's going to have 10 more control. He's got 10 better stamina. Slider and curve are worse, but he has a changeup to match. Yeah, I think Brockville is the pick there, in my humble opinion. Yeah, we have average scouting on him, which I think is fine. I mean, again, he is also going to be a very off-speed sort of pitcher. So I think that'll do. All right, let's go with Ty here. I'll meet his demand. Shouldn't be too expensive. And then I think now we'll just sim the picks. The AI last year did a pretty good job of finding really high potential talent. So we'll just let them sim it. And check out our signees. So Samson, Moretta, Browning, Brackbill have all been offered. Yeah, I mean, Samson only wanted 6.5 in bonus, which isn't too bad. Browning wanting 650,000 is a little high, but that's okay. Anthony Murphy is who the AI took in the 7th round. Ooh, I mean, he's going to be a captain. I can play him at probably either corner outfield spot. Decent home run ability. I think this would be a guy worth going after. How much money could he possibly just... Oh. I mean, falling once at 650,000, I will gladly write you a check for that much. Ty Brackbill costs less. It's very interesting. All right, let me then look really quick at the players, the AI. Oh, we also got Jacob McGovern. The AI took him. All right, let me create a 26 draft short list. So McGovern, is he ready for high A or is that too ambitious? I think that's too ambitious. Let's send him to Class A Fresno. Lock him there. Anthony Murphy, I'm waiting on signing. Wes Mendez, the AI did sign. I really wish they didn't. I think he's a long reliever. Like, because that way I could potentially get 85 stuff. The control is bad. The movement might not be much better. I think I'm going to send him to Class A Fresno also. I kind of wish the AI went a different direction than with Mendez, but that's okay. Hey, we got Campbell Smithwick also. The AI was reading my mind. So we get both catchers. Smithwick, I think, could potentially become a really good backup catcher. I think realistically, him as a starter, unlikely, but you never know. Class A Fresno is just about to get like 8 new players. But our top picks are mostly high schoolers, so it should be fine. Teddy Cashman, I mean, he's okay. He struck out 80 times in 50 games and then 110 times in 70 games. That's terrifying. I'm not even going to add you to a list, buddy. Miles Gostola got destroyed in the draft league as a reliever. It's not great. I'm going to let the AI figure out what they want to do with him. Dean West, I don't really like, but he's got some speed. Landon Morin, not good. Actually, what's his first base rating? I mean, that's fine. I'm going to move him to first base. Well, yeah, I'll move him to first. Right now, I'm just going to be cheap and look at potential to see if the AI grabbed any like stealthy great guys. Looks like the answer is no. All right. That's our draft. I think overall pretty good. No real complaints. Murrieta is convinced. I mean, I didn't think I was going to get Murrieta. Like, that is legitimately stunning to me. So he's just going to go to rookie ball well out there. I mean, that's our catcher of the future. If he develops out, that's our catcher of the future done and dusted. Oh, yeah. And then the AI made the scouting discovery last week that I asked for a scouting report on Castillo. His avoid case is great. 60 outfield arm is pretty good. He could develop into something. I'll add him to the list. All right. Now that the draft is done, though, we can focus on some games. I think I'm not going to go through that many games. We're just going to get close to the trade deadline, maybe through the All-Star break, and kind of see where things are going to shake out. I am going to have Bowden Francis face the Athletics, and then Michael King can just get us started against the San Francisco Giants. So this is our lineup as it stands. Tovar is ice cold, but I kind of want him to just hit out of it. I think I am going to give Romeo Sanabria the start over Toglia just today to get him introduced to the squad. But Bowden Francis in his Rockies debut after being traded. My expectations are literally in the floor. So we'll see what he can do. If he also pitches really well, then we have a lesser reason to extend Spencer Turnbull again. But we'll see. And there we go. First batter, already retired. No issue. Never mind. He gave up a 2-run homer. We're doing great. Ooh, Brenton Doyle already on second. Already on third. Now we're going to play the fun game of can the Rockies score someone in scoring position? Goodman K's. And Bregman flies out to center. A runner on second with no outs. And we can't bring him home. Disappointing. Romeo Sanabria, his first major league at bat, is a harmless ground out to first. As you do, Jordan Beck called back up from the minor leagues Like, I need one of him or Zach Veen to work out. If neither of them work out, we're in a decent amount of trouble. How you Lee K's, and down we go. Can Fernandez beat it out? Yes, he can. Good job from the kid. And Tovar K's. I remember when Tovar was hitting the ball well the first couple months of the season. That was fun. Brendoa gets it down. Runners on first and second for Estrada. Who K's? So last year, in 100 starts, 445 plate appearances, he had 85 Ks. This year, he's got about 100 plate appearances less, and he's already up to 81 Ks. I think we might be hitting the wall with Estrada here. But Goodman gets it down. Fernandez goes home, and he's safe. We got a run back. Really good there from Goodman. Bregman flies out to left now. All right, we got one run back. And Shea hit a solo homer. And they got another run too. The wheels are falling off of Francis. Nothing doing for us in the fourth. Nothing doing for them in the fifth. We have life. Tovar, please. Really. I mean, there's no point in sending him down to the minors. Like, I did that last year. I have no interest in doing it again. At this point, he just has to hit out of it, or else he's going to get traded in the offseason. Like, those are the two options. Because I can't keep wheeling him out to shortstop if he's going to struggle half the season. Clearly, he was safe at home. Dang. All right, they get the runner at home, and Hunter Goodman K's for the second time. Down we go. Let me get Sean Burke warmed up for his first relief action, which I'm sure will go swimmingly, without question. Francis is starting to struggle with fatigue. And an error. Did they give that to Tovar? Yep, that's Tovar's sixth error on the year. Yeah, all right, he gets the lead runner. I'll let him face Jacob Wilson. Soft grounder to second. Down goes Wilson. All right. Good news is Francis gave me 6 innings. Bad news is they weren't great. But that is what it is. Sanabria strikes out. Man. All right. Let's get Sean Burke in there to face Brian Hayes, who we debated signing in free agency, obviously, before we got Bregman. How's he been doing for the Athletics this season? I mean, better than the past couple years, but still not that great overall. Can Tovar get him at first? Yes, he can. Good man. All right, 1-2-3 inning for Sean Burks, first in relief. I'll take that. Can we get anything in the seventh? No. Brett Rooker hits a solo home run off of Sean. A shame. I'm gonna Now let Estrada hit. That is the downside of having how you lead DH and not one of my backup outfielders, is my substitutions will get a little wonky defensively if I ever need to make a sub. There we go. Hunter Goodman gets on base just in time for Alex Bregman to arrive with a 2-run homer. He does send it deep to center, but not deep enough. You hate to see it. All right, I'm going to pinch hit and get Taglia in. And he's hit. That seemed personal. Here's a fundamental question. Of you three outfielders, who's better against lefties? The answer is Alec Thomas. But neither of them are great. So we're going to have Alec Thomas pinch hit here to face Brad Hand. And the ground out to short ends that inning. And Alec will go to left. Taglia will go to first. And Zerpa will take the mound. A clean ninth from him. Let's have... Actually, no. Let's have How You Lee hit. Since it's a righty now. Fly out. Nothing there. Yeah. We just can't get going offensively. All right, Tovar, avoid going 0 for 4. He did not. All right, we lose the rubber match against the Athletics 5-1. None of my hitters really did great. I mean, Doyle had 3 hits, which I'll take. Hunter Goodman and the only RBI, but not the best of debuts for... I'm going to go with Bowden Francis. That just makes more sense. Hey, Ty Brackbill has signed. His potential isn't great, which is why me drafting him in the 5th round might seem a little shaky, but control-wise, I know he's going to be solid. His stuff is going to be above average. I can work with that. So, I think I am also going to pull him away from Draft League and send him to Fresno. Or, nah, he's not ready for high A. I'll just keep him at Fresno then. All right, we have the Giants coming to town. They're putting Kyle Harrison on the mound. We got Michael King. Tovar is ice cold. I might have Estrada. I'm going to give Estrada defensive reps at short to see if that's like a viable option. How You Lee is going to go to second. Zach Veen will take left fielder. I think that's the moves. Against the lefty, where we famously struggle against lefties immensely. So my expectations for this, not very high. Can Romeo bring him home? And get down, get down. That does get down. Zach Veen has the wheels. And he gets home. Romeo with his first hit and first RBI all in one. I'll take that. Fernandez strikes out. But let the record show, at one point we were winning this baseball game. That might continue now with Estrada. Nah, line out. I had such high hope for that baseball when it was hit. All right, Goodman walks. Bregman Ks. How is Bregman's strikeout percentage compared to years previous? Not great. 56 Ks and 340. If you double that, yeah, he's striking out at a higher clip, but that is what it is. He's also hitting more homers at a higher clip, which is nice. And Giants got their first hit. Oi, and that ball is gone. Giants take the lead off the home run shot. Grant McRae. You allowed a home run to this guy? You know what? It's fine. It's fine. I mean, is it really fine? No. All right, let's see if he can get through the sixth clean. He does. So that'll be it for Michael. Giants had an error, and we have two runners on board. Bregman flies out to left. Taglia K's. And Zach Veen flies out. We had runners at first and second, no outs. We couldn't even move them, let alone score them. I'll give Michael King a little bit of the seventh since he's holding it down a little bit. And there we go. He gets Heliot Ramos. Can he go 3 for 3 on strikeouts this inning? Vengeance. Vengeance. He strikes out all three. Good work there from Michael King. And our offense is wasting his beautiful start. Just nothing there from our guys. Fernandez, K's, he really has gone stone cold. How you lead with the home run to left center. Okay. Look at the youngin with his first home run of the season. That's 45 power for you. We're all tied up. All right, Doyle keeps it moving. How good is Carantini's arm? 50? Oh, we're running. Well, attempted fade on that one, and Carantini gets him. That was only his second caught base stealer in 21 tries. Brenton Doyle, you should be ashamed of yourself. Romero gets there through the eighth clean. I'll have Bautista warming up for the ninth in case we take the lead here. Odds are not great that we'll take the lead. Let's just be clear. But it could happen. You never know. Goodman K's. Bregman lines out to center. All right, we're going to the ninth. I'm going to have Romero start the ninth, but if he struggles, Bautista comes in. The struggle has arrived. One batter in with a leadoff double from Lane Thomas. Unrelated, what's Lane Thomas's contract? 3 years, 30 million. Not shabby. And Romero walks Willie Adames. I'm bringing in Bautista, but I don't think this is going to go well. And Matt Chapman hits a 3-run home run. Yep. Yeah, that tracks for how this season is going. All right. And that's that. What a wasted, beautiful start. Michael King, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 10 Ks to his name. Bullpen implodes. Unbelievable. All right, game two. Chris Bubich on the mound. Fernandez is going to sit. Alex Bregman is officially cold. Obviously, we're going to have him hit through it. I'm not insane. I mean, to be fair, Fernandez has been better against lefties than any of my other outfielders, with exception of Boyle, but what an insane statement to say. Alec Thomas is going to hit for Zach Veen. And then, actually, give me those lefty splits again. I'll have Tovar hit for Hao Yuli here. I think the problem with Hao Yuli is just defensively, he's a terrible shortstop. Like, he has 6 errors and 14 starts, -4 zone rating. I can't really play him at short, which hurts. Please. All right. Giants get 1 run, but Hunter Goodman with the homer gives us 2. You got this, Chris. Chris has got this. Yeah, when both Bregman and Taglia are cold, we're just doomed. Hunter Goodman again. Back-to-back home runs. He saw us draft a catcher and he was like, "Excuse me? What do you think you're doing there?" I'm tempted to move Taglia down the order. That just might have to be the solution. Alec Thomas hits it deep to right. That's gone. 2 solo home runs in the inning. I'll take it. And that's good for Alec Thomas because he hasn't really gotten a start in a week. So I think getting him online will be good. There we go. Romeo, Romeo, where art thou with the single? We're still hitting. I would like another home run, please. I will settle for a bloop single. Oh, Romeo is a bold man. He's going first to third on that. And he got in. Okay. Tovar, don't rain on my parade. He did. He did. It's fine. Chris also is on 64 pitches after 4 innings, which is a shame because both my long relievers went in the first 2 games. There we go. If he can get Grant McCray here, I'll be a happy man. And he does. All right. So Chris's day is done. 5 innings, 1 run. I'll take that. Let's get Chivilli up for the 6th. Then honestly, right when he starts pitching, I might have Vodnik get ready. But we'll see. All right, Chivilli coming in. He is cold, but that's only really from the last 2 appearances. Everything else, he's been fine this year. Gets Jung Ho Lee. Good start. Nice work there. All right, I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to get Vodnik ready. Chivilli, I just said you'd been fine. And he gives up the solo home run to Willie Adames. Please don't walk Bryce Eldridge. He did not. We're okay. All right. Not great from Chivilli. I mean, the solo home run kind of took the wind out of that. So Vodnik will come in for the 7th. It's clean. 12 pitches. I think I'll keep him in. Romeo K's. Rev. He was clearly safe. Tovar, I'm going to be honest. Ooh, John Means. My old friend. Wow, they were making him a starter? That's fascinating. And to be fair, it doesn't look like he was doing all that bad. Interesting. Old friend John Means pitching against us. And he strikes out Ezekiel Tovar. That happens. All right, I'm going to get Halverson ready. There we go. Vodnik works the clean inning. Who do I want to try to get to save? Zerpa or Halverson? Who's going to be up? Eldridge against lefties is worse. Matos has had 3 entire at-bats. And Patrick Bailey is worse. So, yeah, we're going to go Zerpa to go for the close. Go for the save. Brenton Doyle, it's it deep to left, but it's caught at the warning track. I had such high hopes for that baseball when it came off the bat. Estrada flies out at the warning track to right. All right, Goodman, I have bad news on where you're going to fly out to. Unfortunately, it was right, not center. All right. So Zerpa is going to come in for the 9th. And he immediately allows Eldridge to get on base. He did that on purpose so he could get Luis Matos into a double play. See, he had a plan. I saw the vision. All right, and they're keeping Patrick Bailey in, so Zerpa to finish. Deep to right. That's foul. Come on, Zerpa. And he gets him swinging. We take game 2 from the Giants. Very nice. Hunter Goodman, definitely the MVP. 2 home runs. Very good from him. Pitching staff did pretty good. Chivilli, solo home run, not included. So that happens. Ooh, Spencer Browning has signed the 18-year-old that I will have to figure out where I want to play him. I think third base for the kid, but we'll see. All right, time for game 3 of the 4-game series with Spencer Turnbull on the mound, who I am still debating whether to give a contract extension to. He just pitched lights out against the Athletics. Let's see how he does here. There are so many snowflakes on my screen. All right, so Brenton Doyle is getting a rest. Alec Thomas, how have you done hitting leadoff? Not good. Jordan Beck, how have you done? Somehow even worse. All right, let's get crazy with it. Ezekiel Tovar to lead off. Then, all else equal. Let's get crazy. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I ask you. I think Hunter Goodman is hot, but he also needs a rest. Ooh, it's the debut of Trevor McDonald. He doesn't look that great. Yeah, I'll give Goodman the day off for game 3. I'm gonna have Toglia hit third. How you leave 5th Fernandez 6, Beck 7, and then Drew Romo is going to get the start and bat 7. No, Beck at 8. All right, here we go. Spencer Turnbull on the mound. Immediately we're down 1-0. Ezekiel Tovar hitting leadoff. Grounded out to short, but at least he hit the baseball. I see that as progress, personally. Estrada K's, as does Michael Toglia. I have a grim feeling, grim might be a bit much, that I am going to move off of Toglia in the offseason. He's regressed so much this year. Giants are up 3-0. Estrada, I know you can hit a home run. Nope. All right, Turnbull's getting hit around a bit. He's already at 74 pitches. Yeah, we're just gonna visit the mound so that Sean Burke is ready, and we're gonna bring him in. That was the worst start I've ever seen. Nah, I've seen worse. It's untrue, but it wasn't great. One of the things I dislike about out of the park baseball, especially how it does pitching, is Sean Burke right now has thrown 30 pitches and he's almost into the yellow in terms of stamina. Whereas if he were a starter, he would still be in the green. I kind of wish that stamina difference would be more consistent if you move a starter to relief. I get why it's not, but it does seem a bit silly. Luis Matos scores Chapman and we're down 4-0. Not the best from Sean Burke, but it's only his second ever relief appearance. I think I can give him some benefit of the doubt. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Tovar, this is your moment. And he hits into a double play. Man alive. All right, Romero, I'm going to be honest. I need like 2 innings from you. All right, there's 1. Oh, boy. Don't walk Eldridge again. Thank you. I'm tired of seeing this guy get walked. There we go. He gets Helio Ramos. And he gets Luis Matos. See, why can't all of my bullpen guys be as consistent as Romero? I ask you. All right. Yeah, I love how you get the at bat here. For a second, I thought that might get down, but shortstop had it. Fernandez lines out. And Romo K's. Yeah. Our offense is just completely falling off a cliff. Romero, by the way, 5 Ks in 2 innings. Oh, Molina. Buddy, I'm going to be honest. You're just going to have to eat this. Like, we don't have a break for a while. It's game 3 of 4 in a series. His ERA is about to explode. Unless he gets out of this inning quick. All right, he gets Lane Thomas. A double play is available. He gets Grant McCray. Do I want him to face me? You know what? You got Matt Chapman. Get him. After loading the bases, Molina strikes out 3 in a row. Why couldn't you have just led with that, Anthony? They brought in a lefty to face Jordan Beck. The fools. Never mind, he flew out to right. Oh, boy. All right. Ezekiel Tovar with the solo home run. Could have something there. Probably not, but you never know. And Estrada goes down once again. Estrada struggling is like legitimately a problem. Like I'm at the point where I don't think we bring like if he continues on this pace, we're avoiding the 2027. Like that's just where I'm at. All right, Molina, you got this. All right, Molina got it. Anything in the ninth? No, sir. We lose game three. Turnbull got destroyed. Our bullpen did okay, but our offense just killing me. All right, we have signed Felix Bautista to a contract extension. He's getting 7.5 million next year. This was essentially just to get rid of arbitration, because there's always a chance, depending on how many saves he gets, that the AI gives him like 9 million. So that just kind of locks that in. All right, Bobby Miller is up now. Now, Bobby Miller, on one hand, has 10 wins. Wins aren't a starting pitching stat. I'm aware of that. On the other hand, we have lost his last 5 starts. So, kind of the crux of a moment here for Bobby. Estrada and Bregman are both tired. So in that case, Tovar's going to hit second. Well, no, that didn't work last time I tried it. He's going down. Who's hitting a righty? I think Alec Thomas needs to hit. Fernandez can sit. So Jordan Beck is going to move to right field, even though he is a horrendous right fielder. Beck goes to right. Alec Thomas is going to hit second in left. I am going to flip the DH and catcher, so Goodman catches. Or, excuse me, Goodman DHs. Romo hit center. And now I need a third baseman. Here's the issue. I don't really have a backup third baseman, which means we might be in trouble here. What do I want to do? Estrada's at 79%. Bregman is at 87. Okay. So I'll just have Bregman play tired today and then flip him tomorrow. Then Hao Yuli can take third. Clean first inning for both sides. Bobby is immediately given up 2 runs, but Bregman, even though he's tired, gets me a solo home run. Oh, Bobby. Oh, Bobby. I remember when Bobby was pitching well. Those were the days. Hey, Alec Thomas hits it to left. That'll get another run back. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Goodman K's in the inning, but we're keeping pace with him. We just need Bobby to shut him down. Oh, Lord. It's fine. You know what? I'm just going to hit some in the half inning. Bobby, you got this. See, he had it. All under control. No reason to panic. Jordan Beck striking out is a small reason to panic. Runners on first and second with 1 out. We can't even move him. All right. Halverson is going to get ready in case Bobby explodes this inning. Which, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you will. I'm just preparing for it. Yeah. Adames gets down. I'm pulling him. Only 4 1/3 inning. Killing me, Smalls. No, they got a double to score, Adames. Hey, Ezekiel Tovar, solo home run. Who had the error? Who am I yelling at? Tovar. That was the slowest throw I have ever seen. All right, Zerpa's coming in, but this could get out of control unless we get a double play here. Sack fly, that'll score one. Not the end of the world because How Yuli didn't move, or Jung Huli, excuse me, didn't move, but happens. Aye, good job, Drew Romo. Well done, sir. All right. So they brought in a lefty. Whoa, no, I do not want to move the designated hitter out of your mind. Yeah, we're going to have Fernandez pinch hit here. Sit back down. Come on, buddy. Don't strike out on 3 pitches. Man alive. Yep, both Fernandez and Romo struck out on 3 pitches when we had runners in scoring position. Lovely. Zerpa, buddy. Oh boy. I think we're gonna lose this game. You know, I'm feeling bold enough to say that. Don't even get the double play there. Yeah, I think depending on how the rest of the games before the All-Star break go, I might feel kind of blow it up mode. But we'll see. All right, Chivilli, give me the eighth. Thank you. And on 8 pitches. What a guy. They still got a lefty in, but Hunter Goodman's done pretty well against lefties, so I'll lean him in. Yeah, ground down. All right. I will definitely pinch hit for Toglia, though, if Will Smith is still in the game. Which he is. All right. Romeo, Romeo, where art thou? Answer on the base paths. Never mind. There we go. Clean ninth. But down we go. Yeah, Bobby Miller again. Bad start. Decent hit production, but I mean, Romo left 4 guys on base. Handful of guys left 2 off. Not the best showing. CJ Sampson has signed the two-way player extraordinaire. Welcome to the club. He's obviously a pitcher first. Do I have to go in and yell at the AI to make him a two-way player? Strategy. All right, cool. Uses 2 ways checked, so it should be fine. Emphasis on should. All right, we are going to play game 1 against the Marlins, and then I'll sim game 2. Bregman is tired, so he's going to sit. How Yuli will take third. Tovar short. That also means I have no infield subs, really, which is not a great place to be. Alec Thomas in for Zach Veen. Everything else is good. All right. Time for a revenge series against the Marlins. And we're already down 2-0. And an error. How you, Lee? Tell me. Ah, Bowden, buddy. Oh, buddy, old pal, friend. Strada strikes out with runner in scoring position once again. Bowden, please. Thank you. There we go. Hunter Goodman, solo home run. He is having a very good July as of late, which is lovely. At least someone is hitting the ball well. If only one player is hitting the ball well, do you really have a good lineup at that point? There we go. Maybe Alec Thomas will be our second player to hit the baseball well, and then just no one else. That's how Yuli pops out to the infield. Can he get through the fifth? He gets through the fifth. Yeah, on 78 pitches. We're not great in terms of bullpen fatigue right now. So let's get, I guess, Burke warmed up with 84%, and then hopefully Francis can give me a couple outs here. Thank you. How many games has How You Lee played third base? 2. Fair enough. Eugenio Suarez grounds out. All right. I'm leaving Bowden in to face Jesus Sanchez. Fly out. All right. Good start there from Bowden. Obviously, the first inning was terrible, but after that, did really well. And we take the lead, Michael Toglia. Thank you, sir. Never doubted. It's a lie. All right, let's get Sean Burke in to face the bottom of their order. And Dane Myers hits a solo home run to tie it up. Our lead was fleeting. Hey, Hunter Goodman, if you want to have a second home run this game, I'd love it. No such luck. All right, I'm a little hesitant to have Sean Burke go too long, so I'll get Vodnik warming up. Don't you dare walk the pinch hitter. You did that? We're good. He gets Joe Mack. I will let him face Devison de los Santos. Got him swinging. All right. Good. Again, good from Sean Burke, with the exception of the solo home run. Vodnik will come in for the ninth. He gets a clean ninth. Let's get Bautista ready for the 10th then. All right, How You Lee? I trust you. What do you got? All right, How You Lee gets on base. Leadoff single. Now, against righties. Yeah, we're going to have Jordan Beck pinch hit here for Fernandez. Any Ks. All right. No dice there. Tovar hits it to right. That'll get down. Run, 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 run. How You Lee to home. Walk off. Thank you. Good night. We take game one from the Marlins in walk-off fashion. That'll do. Very nice from Bowden Francis. Though 3 walks, 4 Ks, not the world's best ratio, but hey, we did enough to take game one. And Anthony Murphy has signed the definitely not center fielder, so I'll just have you play right. And he's fine. I mean, listen, if the power becomes anywhere close to a 75, he'll play. It's just whether or not that actually happens. So I believe every draft pick we have signed. That'll do. That will do. All right, let us sim game 2 of the series. Oh, whoops. I really even said sim as I hit the play button. We win it 7-6 as we walk off once again as Estrada hits a 3-run homer. See, he just does better when I hit the sim button, clearly. Hunter Goodman doing really well. Hunter Goodman hitting in that 3 spot. It's not a lot of at bats, only 70, but his OPS is an 858, slugging a 516. We may have found something here in Hunter Goodman hitting third. How'd the pitchers do? Michael King got blown up. Bautista again, man. I really need this guy to lock in. But alas. All right, so Jake Bird, I waived and DFA'd just to get him off the 40-man in case we need spots. He's also been terrible this year. He's, I know in real life he's a part of the Rockies rotation or bullpen. He was never a part of mine. So he's gone after this year, no matter what. All right. All-star rosters have been announced in the National League. Mr. Zerpa has made it out of the bullpen. Never had a doubt, sir. I mean, hey, I'll take that in a heartbeat. He's had a really good year. Obviously had some hiccups in early July, but outside of that, I mean, 1.1 whip. Ks are down, 6.6 Ks. That's the one part of his game that really worries me. But that is what it is. No Bregman, obviously. Very disappointing. Tiago Estrada at one point was on getting votes. Looks like he doesn't make it either. So, no dice. All right. So, final game against the Marlins before the All-Star break with Chris Bubich on the mound. I'm just going to sim it. We lose 1-6 as Bubich gets up. Zerpa, who made the All-Star game, promptly gives up another run. Chivilli. Man, if Chivilli starts struggling, we might be in trouble, but his underlying numbers are still okay. I'm just so mad he gave up 8 runs in that one inning. I do not know why the AI let him in that long, because that was a game I simmed. I didn't even play that one. Jefferson Quaro. You know what? What do you want from them, Brewers? Nothing. Fair enough. All right. We'll sim through the All-Star festivities. Home run challenge goes to Nolan Gorman. Good on him. All-Star game results. The American League takes it. Zerpa threw 2 pitches and got an out. Good on you, sir. Oh boy, that's funny. All right, let me sim a little bit. All right, I'm gonna reset fatigue. Which button is it? This one. I'm gonna reset fatigue just so that the players who took part in the All-Star game don't, for whatever reason, still have lingering fatigue in this. And then I am, though, still going to have Turnbull, obviously, pitch against Shane Bieber and the Yankees, which is only slightly terrifying. All right, they got a righty. Who do I want? I think this group, except. Do I just want to have Alec? No. Jordan Beck takes right. Alec Thomas comes in to take left, and he switches with Beck. Tovar, do I want you hitting ninth anymore? Like, and he's not doing bad. He can't hit three. I'm gonna try Tovar hitting seventh, and I'm gonna drop How You Lee. Honestly, I'm gonna drop him out of the lineup completely. Let's give Drew Romo some run. Let's put Goodman DH. Romo catches. Beck hits ninth. Let's try that. That also gives me the opportunity to bring How You Lee in off the bench if I need. That is the downside of DHing him, but man, he's just not a good infielder. There we go. Bretton Doyle already on. I have faith that he can run on Francisco Alvarez. And my faith rewarded. Not even a throw. That'll do. And he's already on third. Okay. We got him to third with one out. A sac fly scores him. And Hunter Green does one better and just gets the RBI single. Thank you. We're on the board. Down goes Bregman. How dare you? All right, Alec Thomas, it's a big call starting you here. And he rewards me with the line drive. I am not going to run. The man has a 75 arm. Are you out of your mind? Bases loaded. Ezekiel Tovar strikes out on 3 pitches. I hate this man. Someone make me a trade offer for him. I dare you. Nah. Ryan Clifford with the solo homer. Dang. Look at that power. Look at the eye. What's his rating at first base? Hey, nope. Oh boy. They're getting to Turnbull. Just walk Brandon Nimmo. That's fine. I'd rather you walk Nimmo and face Ramon Laureano. Line out at first. Ryan Clifford is interesting. The trade possibility. He would give me a power outfielder, which we don't really have. I think if I gave Alec Thomas, like if he was our starting left fielder that played every day, he would hit a decent amount of home runs. But I could get us an option as Thomas gets a nice easy double. Surely we can bring him home. There we go, Tovar. Where was that when the bases were loaded? That would have scored at least 2. But I'll take what I can get. Drew Roma with the half swing, and he made it. Look at us. We're having fun now. A balk. You fool. There we go, Jordan Beck. That might be deep enough to score him. And it does. All right, we get the lead. Okays. Estrada, you are my last hope. That's going to get down. Go home, my friend. Be bold. Be brave. And he gets there. All right. Got 3 runs, took the lead. Now, if Spencer Turnbull can lock in for a few innings, think we'll be in business. That said, he's already at 63 pitches. He is now at 74 pitches. So I think I'll warm up. Who do I want? Romero. Nah, they got a solo home run on him. Thanks, Juan Soto. Yeah. I think I'm having the same problem with Turnbull now that I had with Austin Gomber last year. How dare you run on Drew Romo? Well, it's not looking great. There we go. Why would you steal a third? The AI loves stealing third, and it just never works. And Romero gets the K. Done. Never had a doubt. Nothing for us in the 6th. Nothing for them in the 6th. Romero, though, is on 35 pitches. Let's bring in the All-Star. Ooh, but first, Hunter Goodman. Struck out on 3 pitches. Yep, sure. Yeah, Bregman doesn't do much better. I need Bregman to start hitting, man. In his last 10 games, how many hits does he have? 4. In July, he has 60 at bats, only 7 hits. He has hit a wall. Let's keep the lefty train going. It seems to be working. Why did I jinx it? You got this, Serpa. All-star. There we go. See? I wasn't worried at all. It's a lie. All right, we're going to bring in Halverson for the 8th, Bautista for the 9th. See how we do. There we go. Toglia solo home run. My thinking bringing Halverson in was that he would get the bottom of the order, and then Bautista would earn his money by facing the middle of the order. I did not expect Halverson to allow 2 runners. There we go. Double play. Got him. Very nice. Good job. That's why they pay Bregman the big bucks, I tell you. All right, Jordan Beck, I'm going to be honest. I don't really want you facing Raciel Iglesias. So, Fernandez, do your thing. Fly out. He's also better defensively in right field, so. All right, Fernandez to right. Bautista is in for the save opportunity. And he gets it. Well done. We take game 1. Estrada, 4 hits. Very nice, sir. I had to use 4 relievers. But that is what it is. We take it. All right, I'm going to sim game 2 with Bobby Miller. 0-1. Guys. Comrades. What are we doing? Bobby Miller pitches a gem. He only struck out one guy. He gave up a solo home run, and that was that. Man. I'm going to get a scouting report on Ryan Clifford. I doubt the Mets give him up just because he's so young and he has such power, but could be something to go for. All right, let me also sim the finale against the Mets. We win this one 4-3. 3 hits from Doyle and a home run. Bregman with 2 hits. Okay. Howie Lee had another error. He can't play shortstop. He can't do it. He can't. Yeah, that needs to go away. I think honestly, Estrada should just play shortstop. Like he can't be worse. That's just kind of where I'm at mentally. Like he can't be worse. But we took the series from the Mets. Not bad at all. That's not what I wanted to click. So we have a 3-game series against the Braves, and then 4-game series against the Brewers. Here is a fundamental question I have. Would anyone be interested in acquiring Spencer Turnbull? And if so, what's the outlook? Yes, give me 38-year-old Clayton Kershaw on a $7 million deal. To be fair, sub 1 whip, 235 BABIP. What are they cooking over there in Baltimore? Jesse Winker, in all honesty, how's he done against lefties this year? Never mind. Jesse Winker, in all honesty, might not have been a bad play. Jason Foley from the Tigers. Yeah, like the Tigers would ever trade Will Vest. Especially for Turnbull, a player who famously, him and Scott Harris did not get along. Ryan Mountcastle, I could get him, send Romeo back down. Wow, he's not even been injured. They just haven't played him. That could be an option, but eh. Trevor Larnach, similar idea. He hasn't been doing, I mean, he's been literally average. Against lefties, he's terrible. Yeah. 39-year-old Yu Darvish. Now, if I wanted a power outfielder, do I go for Jorge Soler? He would be my everyday DH. I wouldn't even put him in the outfield. Or would I? Have the Mariners? No. Okay. They did for 5 games. He had an error and a negative zone rate. So would I want Jorge Soler to be my DH for essentially 2 months in exchange for losing Spencer Turnbull? I might genuinely come back to that. What if I just ask for prospects? Anyone willing to give up prospects? No. He hasn't been great against lefties, which does give me pause, but he would give me power. He has 14 home runs, which I think on my team would be like 6th. 2nd. Wow, we can't hit home runs, man. I thought we had more home runs than that. Wow. What if I did? Yeah, we lose 3 million, but that's whatever. If I could also get a prospect, Ryan Sloan doesn't look bad. Michael Arroyo, I have no interest in. It's like ask for Ryan Sloan. You can't be serious. How do you know I'm not serious? You ever consider that? They do have Harry Ford, who is making monies. What about JP Ritchie? First of all, that's JR. Yeah, okay. They're only going to give up a prospect if it's like 45 potential or something. Tyler Locklear would join my list of bad defensive guys. Why are all these guys making rookie numbers? Like what are the Mariners doing over there? Ooh, Caleb Cali wouldn't be bad. What about you? Yeah, no. Okay. So if I want a prospect it's just a straight deal, would they want to retain any money? So this seems a bit silly, but I would essentially get Jorge Slor for free and lose Turnbull. Do I think it's worth it to trade Turnbull? Here's a question. Would they want anyone else besides Turnbull? Yes. Amador, maybe. Bautista, no. Craig, no. Condon, no. DeLeon, no. Donder, no. They'd one in one Bowden Francis. I just flip him immediately. He pitches 3 starts for me and I flip him. Adil Amador, in all honesty, makes the most sense. However, if Estrada continues to struggle, he might see reps. Luis De Leon, I don't think I give up. I don't think De Leon is a starter in the future, but also similarly, I think he's worth keeping. Dollander is doing horrible, but I do quietly plan on calling him up if we trade Turnbull. Yonver Herrera, I think, needs more time in AAA. Gabriel Hughes, honestly, Gabriel Hughes deserves the call up a lot more. Then, if I do this, though, I need to send down one of my outfielders. It might be Yankio Fernandez. Yeah, that's the trade. So I trade Turnbull, get Soler, send down Fernandez. Done. That's the deal. I think I acknowledge the fact Turnbull pitched really well for us for a season and a half. I also acknowledge he's about to be 34 years old. He's going to hit a wall eventually. I would rather maximize his value now, get Jorge in the building, and then if he balls out, we could even see if he'd want like a 1 year contract extension. But that's my logic as it stands. So I need to free up some roster spots. Fernandez going back down to AAA. That does mean we have 7 AAA outfielders right now. Juan Guerrero, I have bad news. You're going to AA. And you're not moving the rest of the season. So Fernandez goes down. Jorge Soler, welcome to the party. And again, the Mariners are retaining 100% of his contract. So we're paying nothing. It's just, do we think Turnbull is worth losing to get him? And I think the answer is yes. Gabriel Hughes is the call-up in response. I think he, without question, deserves it. He got 9 starts last year, did pretty good. Walks, Ks were a little low, but he's done really good striking guys out in AAA this year. So we're going to see what Gabriel can do for us. I think Bobby Miller, he's getting a run the rest of the season. Bowden Francis getting the run. And we just go from there. But that's trade 1 done. I believe also now we have no more pending free agents, with exception of Jake Bird, who's obviously gone, and Jorge, obviously. Okay, now, how you Lee? I have bad news for you, buddy. I have bad news. You are now relegated to a backup. Jorge is going to DH. All he wants to be is in the starting lineup. So, I think I'm going to drop Toglia to 6. Well, no, he's hitting pretty well in the 5th. All right, so Jorge is going to hit 6th. He is going to DH. He's our everyday DH now. Against lefties, he was a little worse, but the power is still there. Actually, the power is better than it was against righties. So we're going Soler 6. That does mean I need a right fielder. I think Jordan Beck is going to hit in right, and Alec Thomas is going to be our everyday left fielder. I think Zach Veen stays on the bench. Against lefties, currently I have Romeo hitting against lefties. He's not done great. I think similar idea. Hit him. Jorge bats 6th. And now against lefties for that outfield group. None of them are doing great. Jorge obviously needs to play. Brenton Doyle's good. Jordan Beck can't hit lefties to save his life. Honestly, I don't want to play any of them. So against lefties, Jorge is going to hit in right field. And yeah, Romeo can stay in DH, actually. That's my move. So essentially similar lineup, with exception of Zach Veen in for Alec Thomas against lefties. Beck sits, and Jorge takes right field. All right, trade 1 done. Let us sim game 1 against the Braves. We take it in extras, and we have a trade to look at. Very nice. Estrada with 3 hits. Jorge Soler on his debut. 1 for 5 with an RBI. Toglia 0 for 5 with 4 Ks. Good God. Michael. Sweet. That single-handedly plummeted his OPS. All right, pitching-wise, C-Man, Michael King also quietly has been, bad, which is a shame, because my whole argument for signing him was he was fairly cheap. 3 years, $34 million. But the reason he was cheap is because he struggled with the Padres. Well, he's doing about the same as he did with the Padres. The BABIP is better, the WHIP's a little bit down, but K's are down, walks are up. We will likely be on the starting pitching market again. Sean Burke in relief did well. How is that split looking? Yeah. I mean, he's allowing like 1 run per outing, which I don't love. Zerpa, the all star, 2 2/3 innings, 4 Ks. Closer of the future after Bautista moves. Could it be? Could it be so? I'm really happy that Estrada's starting to turn back here, which is good. All right, is there anyone in the starting lineup or just the hitters that'd be worth trading? I don't really think so. I think at this point we need to find out if Jordan Beck or Zach Veen are the answer, and the only way we can do that is give one of them starting reps. So Beck is going to play. Zach Veen is kind of going to ride the bench, which feels a bit silly because Veen is objectively, I would say, the better player. However, he's hit so much worse. Like his OPS is 100 points lower. Average is a 173 this season. But also, I don't love the production that Jordan Beck is getting me either. He's hitting one. His average is 191 against lefties. Like Jordan Beck is at least average against righties. I mean, it's like I don't know, man. I'll give him a little bit of run in. I mean, he's playing against lefties. He'll be fine. All right, so I don't think I want to trade any of them. Pitching staff trades. I mean, I did Turnbull. King obviously no. Bubich no. Bobby Miller no. Francis there's no point, and Hughes is in. So I think that's pretty much that. I could trade Anthony Molina, but like I am of the opinion Anthony Molina is a good reliever. He just so happens to have a horrendous outing about once a month, and that just craters his numbers. No point in trading Bautista. We already traded Scott Randall. Speaking of which, how has Scott Randall done for the Guardians since we traded him? 2 star. Oh, they're starting him. Looks like he didn't do great against the Reds, but did okay against the Phillies. 9 Ks against the Reds also. Good for you. Similar question. How has Chris Bryant been for the Yankees? Oh, negative WAR. Are they playing him in the field? Oh my God. There. So they're playing him in the outfield. We're not going to unpack that. Hitting wise, he's doing okay, though he's cooled off quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, he's going to end the year with less than 100 games played, which is kind of a shame, but that is what it is. I don't think we really have anyone else to trade. Do we trade? I mean, if anyone wants Alex Call, like, obviously. But I doubt anyone would want Alex Call. They're willing to give me Austin Martin. I mean, Jung Ho Lee would be funny, but he's just making way too much money. I mean, Austin Martin, like, is objectively an upgrade just in the organization as a whole. The problem is, though, he's a second and shortstop, mainly infielder. His outfield ratings, I guess his outfield ratings aren't too terrible. But he's essentially, how does he compare with Amador? Little bit better BABIP and gap and I. He's much better against lefties. Also 27. I mean, I think this trade is worth doing just on the basis of there's no shot Alex Call ever hits with us again after this season. And also, he's not doing well in AAA anyway. Whereas Austin Martin could be a September call up. I'm a little annoyed the Twins didn't give more back. They didn't play him at all in 2025 in the majors. I'll do this deal. And then how long was he out for? 5 days, and they've not put him on the IL. I'm going to place him on the 40-man. Retroactive to 7/25. All right, I'll put him on the IL, and then when he gets back, I'll throw him in AAA. That's Alex called down. Here's a question. Does anyone want 31-year-old Luis Hirme, who has just been chilling in AAA this entire season? And this one, I'd really only want prospects, but I doubt anyone gives them to me. Nah. All right, I'm going to flip through this really quick. Diamondbacks, you needed second or third? Didn't think so. Ooh. The A's. My old friends. Luis Hirme, in exchange, they wouldn't give me Henry Bolte. Michael Forret. Okay, they really don't want him. In that case, Jake Brooks. Do I even want Jake Brooks before I look? No. I mean, McLean wouldn't be terrible. But do I also? Nah. I think at that point, let's just hold on to Luis and c'est la vie. So we get rid of Alex Call. We send him to the Twins. Best of luck to him in the wars to come. I think that's pretty much it for trades. Like, we don't really have anyone else we want to ship off. Let's sim next Braves game. We win it 5-1. Very nice. Hunter Goodman, 4 hits, 3 RBIs. He is now also dead tired. Very nice. Chris Bubich pitches really well. Halverson shuts the door. Trade proposal. Oh, I didn't look at this trade proposal from the Athletics. Whoops. They want Andy Perez, who currently is backup infielder, doing pretty good in AA, AAA a little bit, hit a wall. Okay, in exchange, they want to send me Jack Lebowski, who is a reliever. So his stuff is going to be a bit better. I mean, he's pitching really well for them. Why would they give him up? I don't want him. He's 30 years old, but still. And then Cole Miller. I mean, would they do just prospect for prospect? No. Okay, so they want to get rid of Lebowski that bad. No, I reject this trade. That said, okay, they really like Cole Miller. All right, that trade's done. Astros, how may I help you? They want Jordan Beck. I mean, depending on what they offer, I might do it. They also want Blake Wright, who is a defensive first third baseman who can't hit in high A. So I'm fine with that. What do they want to give me? Caleb Ferguson was a very good reliever. I had him in OTP a couple years ago, and he was really good. And Jose Fleury, who could grade out to be an above average prospect. But here's the thing with Caleb Ferguson, I don't really need him. He is a lefty, but who does he replace? Like Bautista, Zerpa, Vodnik are all pitching great. Romero's pitching great. Halverson's pitching great. So that leaves Burke, Cavilli, or Romero. Chivilli, there might be an argument to send him down, but the Whip and BABIP are good. The only problem are the walks. Do I send Chivilli down to the minors for a bit? Eh, I don't know if that's worth it. How does he compare to Chivilli? I mean, he's objectively better. Cavilli also has been poor against left, or his ratings are bad against lefties. Has that graded out pitching wise? Eh, higher walk, but lower BABIP. Um, I think I'm going to do the deal. My argument is this also frees up so Zach Veen can get the lion's share of reps. Jordan Beck also quietly is a very bad defensive outfielder. Like he has a negative 2.4 zone rating in right, negative 1.3 in left. This is going to be me being greedy. Can I also get Cam Smith? No. That's a no. Can I get this 17-year-old? No. Okay, so I think this is like the maximum they'll do. Yeah, I'm gonna do the deal. No way. What? You sent it to me. I agree. Been a pleasure doing business with you. Complete trade. That was odd, but I'll take it. All right, so Jordan Beck off to the Astros. Zach Veen is going to be our right fielder going forward against righties. Do I just want Alec Thomason? Nah, I'm going to keep Alec Thomason left. So Zach Veen's going to play all over. Um, that does. So yeah, I think Chivilli, I'm going to send to AAA. My argument being he's been a little inconsistent this year. And if his stuff develops better in AAA, then I think it's worth it. Caleb Ferguson, this is a rental. Like let's be clear. Um, give me a couple months of Caleb Ferguson, we'll rock and roll. He is also a lefty, so that helps out there. So now with Jorge being DH, I did just send down Fernandez. Should I be like, hey, come back? Honestly, Aaron Schunk might be the move because I get a really good defensive third baseman And I don't know if I want Hao Yuli in the field right now. So he could be more of a DH. I think it might be Shunk. Let us do so. Welcome to the majors. So yeah, I think at this point, Hao Yuli is only backup DHing. Like, he can't really get in the field. And then Shunk can play backup second, backup third, no issue. I think that's the move. All right. So Aaron Shunk is back. He has also done better against lefties than righties, which ain't nothing. But I think at the moment, that is our trades done. So let me sim past the trade deadline. Gabriel Hughes, his first start against the Braves, and we lose it 5-8. He gives up 6 runs. Oh, God. He got destroyed. Also, I saw Ezekiel Tovar picked up an injury. And only influences his running. Should be fine. Trade proposal. Hit me, Orioles. 38-year-old Clayton Kershaw. No, go away. What a deal. What a deal. All right, Bobby Miller against the Brewers. 1-10. See, this is why I can't sim games. Caleb Ferguson gives up 3 runs. Bobby Miller gets shelled. Crushed even. Destroyed. But let us sim past the trade deadline. Come with May. Yep. We are done. Oh, we lost 2-3. Yeah. Bautista blew the save again. And this is why I can't sim games. We just lose them. It really is a phenomenon. All right, Royals. Trevor Rogers. No, I just acquired Caleb Ferguson. Why would I want the clone of Caleb Ferguson? Anybody else? Any other trades any of you teams want to send my way? No. Cool. Personal development. Oh, Luis De Leon got so much better. Are you ready for AAA? The control being a 40 is just still terrifying, but that is what it is. I drafted this guy and he immediately cratered. Well, I guess the AI drafted him. I am innocent. All right. That is what it is. Let us save and stop here. We started the video 6 games above 500. We finish it 4 games above 500. But I think the trades we made should help us the rest of the way. Jordan Beck, I wish him the best of luck with the Astros, but it clearly wasn't working with us. He's not great defensively, and I have a lot of young outfielders that need to get reps. And so Beck has been shipped off to the Astros. Alex Cole, it just flat out didn't work. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, no part of that work. So he is gone. Salute the man. Spencer Turnbull, I think, is a good pitcher. Like, in this save, he has done really, really well. But, he's going to be 34. Let's get Jorge Soler, see what he can do. Hopefully it'll go well. At the moment, I'm going to be honest, in 5 games, it's not going great. He has 3 hits and no homers. But, got a couple months left to see what he can do. And if he struggles a lot, we could still bring him back in free agency on a poor contract. So, right now we're 4 games back of the Dodgers. We are in the wild card spot. by a half a game. I think I will play through a little bit of August off stream, probably through the either Giants or Orioles series. And then next stream, which I plan on being Wednesday tomorrow, we will get through the entire rest of the season and hopefully be playoff bound. So I thank you all for watching. Here's hoping the Rockies can make the playoffs in year 2, and if not, we'll give it a good try. But I will see you all next time.